if I want to animate this, maybe this will also be good because there is a number. So I can take anything from here from Pinterest and I will save that screenshot and I will head back to my Claude code. And basically what I want to do is, so this works with remotion. So basically let me go back Claude code and I have saved this to my desktop, this image. I will copy this image and I will actually paste that image in Claude code and I'll ask that, can you animate the graph and the text?
Today, uh, I have a really fascinating guest who's been living and breathing AI design and building products for the last 2 years. And he's also been openly sharing, his knowledge with the community. Rakesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sathy, for having me on your podcast. And thank you so much. And I'm really exciting to be, to be inside your podcast and really exciting for the conversation which we will have. And you rightly said that last 2 years, basically, I'm breathing, sleeping, eating with different AI tools and models. And that become my first family right now.
So Rakesh is a AI native SaaS UX and UI designer.
Yeah, so I am basically a designer. I don't have any idea about coding or I don't have any idea about how the code actually works. So last 15 years I'm working in this industry. I started my journey as a graphic designer. I started then moving into UX and UI, then product design, and then slowly last 2 years actually the whole game changed because 2 years back I had to depend a lot of things on developers, a lot of things on the coding part, which I had no idea. And due to that, there was like a lot of inconsistency in my design when it comes to the actual output. So last 2 years actually helped me a lot to whatever the way I wanted to produce the design, the same exact output is also coming there. So one of the new things which I learned that I can actually use Claude Code to create some motion design, which was like very challenging for me. I have no idea about how After Effects works, and After Effects is expensive and I have to learn a lot of things. So there is a process where you can use Claude Code to animate any kind of motion graphic, like motion design. So for an example, this is one graph is there. There is one headlines or text. Maybe I can take this one also. There is one small graph and there is a text. And if I want to animate this, maybe this will also be good because there is a number. So I can take anything from here from Pinterest and I will save that screenshot and I will head back to my Claude code. And basically what I want to do is, so this works with remotion. So basically let me go back Claude code and I have saved this to my desktop, this image. I will copy this image and I will actually paste that image in Claude code and I'll ask that, can you animate the graph and the text? I have attached the reference of the graph. I need to animate the exact same graph, exact same color, and the graph animation should be from left side to right side. And there should be a little bit of a overshoot bounce effect so that it will feel little natural. Can you do that for me? So now you'll see the magic. It will start doing it. Here I have not asked that if you need anything, but generally I ask that, hey, if you have any confusions, please ask me so that it will start asking more and more questions that what kind of like animations you're looking for, any specific like patterns or something it can ask. But see what is happening. I'm here inside my Claude code and here you will see that here one composition will come and in that composition you will see the animation started. So just wait for a few minutes, it is started. You can see some for this I am running with the 15 tokens right now with this again. So Claude code also shows that how much token you are burning for this. Okay, so it's a good, but generally right now I'm in a little bit of higher plan, so I don't have any restrictions at this moment. Okay, so now it has started doing this. It has done, and ideally what it has done, it has written some code basically. So now the graph matches the reference navy blue card. So I'll go back. I don't know. Can you open the animation? Okay, it's on localhost 302. Okay, so let me, I think it's the same, but I cannot see the composition. So I can ask basically, okay, I think, look at this. So I ask this and now I can change this. Even if I have, any CSV file or something, I can actually add the real number. Now what I can ask that, okay, these So it has started. I said that it has not opened, so it has started doing this. Now on that graph, there is a circle. That circle should grow from left side, and actually it should end at the end of the graph. So can you create that animation also? Because right now the circle is coming only at the top. Now here your design basic skill will come into the picture, because if you know some of the basic understanding of the basic principle of your motion design, then you can instruct it so that it will animate in that way, right? So there your actual designer skill will come. Building something, you have to leave it to these models. But now it is doing something, it is fetching something. Now you'll see this, some changes will come immediately. It's changing. Now it has thrown some error, but that's fine because it is working right now. So you have to wait. You have to have a patience. Like it is not like a magic. It is a science, right? You have to wait and you have to see what is going on. It's saying done. Now I'll play this. Let's see. That that circle came from left side. It's a little fast, so I can say that, can you increase the size of that circle and make it little slower? Right now it's too fast. So we'll see that these changes are happening. Now I can change from this line graph to anything. I can change the color, I can change maybe the animation style, I can do whatever I want. And at the end of when I'm done, I can actually download that as a video file, I can share with anyone. So now I don't even need a motion design. See that the change, you can see it here, and it has a nice bounce. And so I talked about the overshoot effect, right? Is actually taking from there. I can ask that, okay, why don't you bring the line first, and then maybe your that circle, and then circle maybe a pulse effect. So it will actually give that. So this is a kind of capabilities right now we have with our uh, you know this Claude code. But yeah, of course, like Claude code is very, very powerful.
So you talk about 2 years, and one thing that stood out was $3,000 worth of tokens. So what were you trying to figure out when you were building all of these products, and what were some of the challenges? Why don't you walk us through some of?
So around, as you mentioned, that 2 years back when these models were not mature enough, so I started, playing with them. And every time I started doing something with those models, so what happened is basically I was trying to, get some kind of a results from these models. That okay, give me a landing page, give me something, and I started iterating on that, right? So what happened? The more I go, then I had to like these tools were not free from day one, so they used to charge you. So I got excited. Okay, I am halfway of this landing page now. I am running out of credit. Let's put some more credits to get the next result. Even that time, I was trying to build a whole application, which is basically a AI powered form generation. Like, you will just in your natural language, you will tell that, okay, I need a form for my birthday party, and I want to send this form to the people who wanted to attend my birthday party. So that form will automatically have fields and all, and then it will generate that link for me. So that time I learned a lot of things, and I burned a lot of dollars also. But the main part is, see, because there is no playbook right now, that this is how the structure will be, and every time these models are changing, their capabilities are changing. So until as you don't do the hands-on, then you cannot actually come up with this right kind of output. So what happened is $3,000, almost $3,000, actually helped me to understand how to structure your project. What exactly you have to, do the groundwork even before hitting the build option, or even before, hitting that actual process. So, so, so these kind of learning I have done, and the biggest learning is that AI models are not clear about what you are building until unless you are not giving them the right kind of a context. So always I talked about this four layer of prompt techniques. One is your context. You have to have a very detailed, in-depth context. If you do not have the context, then of course you should not expect a right kind of output. Then second layer is basically your constraints and your quality bar, that what kind of constraint there should be, what kind of quality bar you are looking for. You cannot say that, hey, there is a meme, right? Hey, ChatGPT, make me rich and big, without any work. So this is something vague. Like there is no context. However, this is like a joke, but the same thing in your application design also. If you are asking that, okay, give me a beautiful design. These models have no idea what is beautiful. You have to set that quality bar. You have to set that tech test. And the third layer is basically you have to scope it out that, okay, I need these, but I need this in these stages. The scope you have to be very clearly defined. Fourth layer is also your output format. If you don't know what output format you are looking for, then what will happen is these models will generate based on their current understanding. So you have to be very clear that what kind of output format you need. Suppose, for an example, what I learned that before even building anything, if I am building a certain small application, I need to know that how my user flow, how my user process, like how my user flow will be from one screen to another screen. Now, if you look at it manually, if we want to do, then what happened? I need to design that diagram. I need to do this manual diagram drawing, and then I need to create the user flow. Or even in for us small landing pages also, I need to create a sitemap. But now I can actually design that sitemap without even opening Figma or anything. I just get that right output format. For instance, that format called Marmot format. So if you ask the models or the tools that, okay, I need this user flow, this is my application, whatever is the context and everything you set up, and if you ask that, okay, I need this in Marmot format, and if you take that code and put any software like Draw and all, you will see you don't even need to know how to draw all this flow chart. So it can give you that whole flow chart. So this helps to validate. This helps to quickly get the right kind of flow. If I have to change something, I can go back, I can again do that. So there are like output format is very important. If you don't know, then you will build up wrong things. This four layer of prompting is basically what I learned, and I think that's one of the thing which I keep doing it with my current project also. Without this four layer of, I even don't ask that, okay, give me this. Now I understand if I give this vague input, then I will also get the vague output. So it is very straightforward and very clear that the way you communicate basically to your junior developer or designer or even your senior developer, the same way you have to feed your whole context. You have to set the bar, you have to set the constraint, you have to set the scope, and then you will get that. But yes, of course, the speed. So let's say I have a problem that, or maybe I have a idea to create that as a product, or I need to do that, create that as a working prototype. So then what will be my steps? So basically, this is my brief that this is a translation invoice generator. General, so generate professional invoices for translation work by uploading CAT tool report with automatic rate calculation, tax handling, and this is this, and they will pay something like this. So basically, idea is if you go to any professional translator, they translate it, and when the new word comes, they need to manually build those new words. So now this tool will automatically handle that generations, right? So my step is if I want to do this, so what I'll do is first I'll take this particular subject. I will go to my Claude, and there I'll create a project. Basically, you can see I have a lot of projects created. So I'll create the project, and here I'll show you very quickly, but I also do a lot of research. But here I'm not doing the research. Let's say my research are done. So I'll paste my problem here, and then I'll ask Claude that, hey, I am working on this particular project called Translation Invoice Generator. This is a basic brief, or this is a basic requirement. Can you go through this and let me know your understanding? If you have any questions, let me know. I want a PRD from this particular requirement. So basically, what happened is till the time the PRD is generated, I don't generate PRD at the first go, but due to here, for the showcase of this particular use case, I asked to generate the PRD. Now, basically, now Claude is giving uh, Claude's understanding, and then basically this is scope it has defined, and the answer of 1, 2 will shape 80% of your PRD. So now it has asked some questions. I need to answer these questions. So first question is that PRD scope is there is a full MVP, phase one, or just phase one MVP. The one pager list 15 plus feature, which are non-negotiable feature. So I am going to build this as a functional prototype. I want to do it as a phase one MVP, not maybe the full list. You can decide which can be a non-negotiable feature for the MVP. And remember, this is not a launch. I'm doing it for MVP. So this is my first question answer, because I need to answer this question. Otherwise, it will not be able to do that. Number two is primary user split. They are designing primary for solo translator or small. So I will answer this that It is for the solo translator or the freelance translator who is a individual, not the agency team or like not a company. And also it is not a white labeling thing. It is just a simple tool. They will use it. Now, fourth number, it has a payment integration. So it is very simple. What I'm going to do is all integration and everything will be mocked. I don't want you to add any kind of backend functionality, and I don't want to add the real functionality. So everything will be a mock functionality with the mock data. So now it has asked for my, you know, four questions. I have answered, and look at the speed. Is this a productivity 10x, 100x to your question? I don't know, but this is how the whole process.
So, Rakesh, you talk about craft, clarity, and code. Can you elaborate a bit on that philosophy for us?
Yeah. So, you know, craft, clarity, and code. So if you look at when we do the design, we are basically we are crafting something, right? And how we are crafting when we have the clarity. And if we do not have the clarity, then we cannot craft it. Until unless we do not have clarity, we cannot craft, then we cannot code is also. So when it comes to the digital product design, I'll say digital product building, because right now we are also building the product. So one of the layer, this craft is always there with designers. Even there will be like, intelligent AI model will come, but every designer has their own taste. Every designer has their own craftsmanship. That personality, getting that personality and, getting that output from the AI model, I think that gap will always be there. Even the AI will be super intelligent in next couple of months or year. So that craftsmanship and the clarity, these two are like massively driven by human. And until unless these uh, things are like the way you think that this too will still be with human. You need a human touch. But code is something which is automated. Right now, machines are writing code. But if I can tell that what crafts needs to be done, and if I don't know okay, what craft needs to be done, if I don't know the way it has to be written or it has to be designed, that clarity if is not there, then even AI cannot write the code. So craft and clarity, these two always will be there with human. As of now, this is my learning, and I also learned this from one of my mentor. So he talks a lot about this craftsmanship and the clarity, and you know, going deeper with this human, like human centric approach, basically. So these things will be always there with designer, and I think that's should be always there, because without that craft and clarity, your output will not come. So if you look at this particular application, which is basically Scholastic, so this application already built. Now there are three, four use cases. You see, there is a free user, there's a pro user, there's a growth user, and there's a first time user. Let's say if I log in as a pro user, so then you see that I am inside the application. I have a dashboard and I can actually go to different modules from here and I can create them. So this is basically a course like a mini learning management system for content creator, which is powered by AI. Now, this whole application, whatever you are seeing right now, it is not uh, design using any normal design tool. It is done using like whole vibe coding tool only. So one of the thing which I want to show that if this application already built and you want to work with the existing code base, so basically generally what I do is I go ahead and clone that repo. Basically from GitHub, what you have to do is you are basically cloning that repo from here. So just copy it and there's a clone repo. So once you clone the repo, so it will ask you that where do you want to store this. So let's say I'm storing it here. I have already stored in my application, but still you can see it will run here. It will come here. Then I will open this. So one of the thing which I do it, I basically also use tool like Whisperflow and all, and I have no idea how to run this on localhost. So what I do is I say, hey, can you run this application on localhost? So what will happen is you see it has come and then it will compile here again. Need some kind of like technically what I understood that it requires some dependencies, like they have some dependencies. It will install those dependencies if I do not have that, and then it will run on my local machine. And the beauty of right now in Cursor, what happened is they also have a browser inside. So if you look at this layout, there you will see that the cursor is basically have that browser, and in this browser you will have the design control also. So I'll show you that, because right now see it is showing that in install deep if missing and start the web. So basically I think there will be some kind of a dependencies webpack, and it will basically it will take a little bit of time to install this. Bear with me, because this is how, when you will work with your existing code base, you will actually see this. Just wait for a few minutes, and also it depend on the speed of internet, and because it will install in your local machine. So let me see. This is, see, you can drill it down. You can see that what all things are resolving, what all packages they are fetching. So it is what I understood, that yarn install is basically they are installing different Node.js module. So that they will install. Even I don't need to know what all those packages. I just ask that, hey, can you run this application on localhost? So it will install and run on my localhost. So just wait for a few minutes. So you can see it here. It has started enabling my workspace and everything. And the beauty of it is that if I face any problem, then I can ask Cursor or Cloud Code that you go ahead and fix this. So it will fix. And right now I'm using Cursor's latest own model called Composer 2. I'm not using even Opus. So any small task, I don't do it through Opus and other model. I'll just use the auto mode or the composer mode here, because these tasks you don't need massive capabilities. You need very less capabilities to run this.
So you generally like to talk about Cursor and Lovable and some of these tools, right? And you're very vocal about these on your LinkedIn posts. So can you give us a quick overview of what the industry looks like or where it is headed, at least from your perspective?
So in the market right now, there are lots of tools, and everybody is saying that there's a vibe. We are the vibe coder, or, we are the vibe design, or means like vibe coding tool. But you need to know that if you do not pick the right tool or the right model, so your output will also not be correct. So for an example, you are building just a landing page, and you need a very, one or two pages. You don't need such a complex thing, and you don't want to do some complex backend logic and all. Tools like Lovable, V0, they are very good at doing that. But after a certain time, you will hit the capabilities limit, because these tools, one way they are running on your browser, and when you are working with your LLMs, so you should have a very strong infrastructure. Otherwise, you will run out of your resources. So basic one or two pages doing some lightweighted prototype, uh, where you don't need any kind of backend logic and all. Go ahead and try with this, and it will reduce cost also. But let's say, like for example, I did a massive project when I was working with Krutrim. That time the whole design actually I have done just using my prompt. So to do that kind of project, you cannot do it in Lovable or something, because they are not capable to do that. You need to have a very professional design tool, or the development tool, or the vibe coding tool like Cursor, or right now like Claude Code. So they are much more capable. They can handle your lot of backend complexity. They can handle your existing code repository, because most of the time you will see that the actual the real products, they are not starting from zero. They already have some legacy code. So you need to do a lot of refactor of your code. So Cursor, Claude, they are very much capable to do all this. And one thing I recently learned, that when it comes to TypeScript kind of code thing, I think Claude Code is very much capable to do. Of course, they can do other things also, but that is my learning. I have heard from someone, I was there in an event, and Codex has like a lot of variety of capabilities apart from TypeScript. So every model has their own uh, own kind of a capabilities, right? So that we need to understand. Let's say I want to do some visual brainstorming. I will either use GPT or Gemini to do this. I will never do this with my Claude Opus, because Claude Opus is a very good when it comes to the technical implementation. So I know what I need to do. I have the context.
Your favorite AI coding tool?
Claude.
Okay. Lovable or Cursor?
Cursor.
Okay. One hidden feature in these AI tools that no one is talking about.
So your system preferences in Claude, the way you set your preferences, the way you set your tone, that's the hidden. That's where the all everything is laying there, and the skills which you are using.
Okay, interesting. Your thoughts on vibe coding in 5 years?
So vibe coding will be always there because it has already proven that you are making a lot of impact. So maybe the vibe coding will be mainstream in next even not in 5 years, maybe in 1 or 2 years or maybe a year.
Your favorite design framework or mental model?
I think it's a job to be done framework that I always prefer. That in my application, this job should be done. So that's a favorite design framework for me.
Is there an AI tool that actually makes the design process worse for designers?
I will suggest do not use the tool like ChatGPT for your design. Do not use some other product. I don't want to take the product name because they may say that why, but there are some lot of uh, like vibe coding tool happen. Don't use them. They will make your design worse.
Okay, fair point. One book that you highly recommend.
So I will highly recommend a book called Fall in Love with the Problem, Not with the Solution. It is written by the founder of Waze. You should, everybody should read, even not just the designer, developer, founder, even the product guy. That's the book you should.
Fantastic. Okay, last question. Your favorite role model?
So I have two, not one. One is my mentor, and my guru is Sunit Singh, who was a founding team member of Creative Designer, means Creative Design. I learned a lot from him. Still, I take mentorship from him. And second is, I never met with him. I am connected on LinkedIn, and I follow every time. His name is quite complex to pronounce. It's called Artyom Teskey or something. I really love the way he actually, communicate the truth about all the tools, all the process, and kind of a role model for me. He also wrote a couple of books, so I read those books also.
What's his name again?
Artyom Tesk something like Artyom. I know, like I just search for like if you search for Artyom, then you will see the Artyom designer. So name is quite complex, but yeah, he's German. I think he is in Germany right now. My favorite role model.
So, Rakesh, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you so much. Uh, where can people follow your work?
So I'm super active on LinkedIn. Um, there they can follow me, and I actually keep posting my learning and my everything on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the place where people.
Thank you so much for being here. Really loved having you. And everyone make sure to follow Rakesh, all of his work, his thoughts, and his projects. You can follow him on LinkedIn. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Rakesh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Satya, for having me again, and have a nice day.